Hey guys, welcome to TST Garage. I'm Bart, and today in this video, I'll be showing you how to install the TST Industries brake light modulator on your bike. Now, a brake light modulator, sometimes called a strobe, sometimes called a brake light flasher, what it does is basically enables you to install some electronics on your bike so that when you press your brakes, the brake light flashes in some kind of pattern and alerts the drivers behind you that you will be stopping. Our particular brake light modulator comes pre-wired to a plug that interfaces with a sub harness that we provide specific to your bike model that enables plug and play functionality with your bike. So that means that the installation is really fast and you can do it yourself. Now, the electronics inside, we do have the ability for you to program this unit to 3 different functions and then subsequently adjust the rate of the effect to your liking. Our first programmable mode is strobe alert. This mode will produce 9 flashes and then stay solid for the duration of the brake engagement. Second one is intermittent pulsar. Each cycle will flash 10 times and then pause. And then these cycles will repeat for the duration of the brake engagement. The last available option is pulsar, and this one just basically provides continuous flashing for the duration of the brake engagement. Now we will show you how to install this. It's really simple. And then after the installation chunk, I will show you in detail how to get inside here, how to program the different modes, and how to alter the rate of those different modes. We did think about the safety of such devices during the design phase. So we decided to design this in a way that it will be a pass-through component. In case you experience a failure on board here, it will just pass through your normal brake function, which means you press your brake light lights up, there's just no effect. In case you do experience that failure, we do offer a warranty, so we have guys standing by in our support department that will take your call, email, Facebook message, whatever, and we'll get you replaced. And that's pretty much it. Now, I'm really excited to show you guys just how easy this is to put on and configure. So let's get started. For this video, we've got ourselves a brand new YZF-R9. As you can see, we still have the OEM taillight in place. However, on this bike, we've installed our Quadrix D signals that also have brake function in the capsule of the signal. So those are connected together. Makes no difference for the brake light modulator. It will modulate all brake components. So this and these will go together. If you guys have only the stock taillight or some aftermarket taillight that doesn't have a brake light modulation feature in it, our brake light modulator will do the trick for you. For this installation, we'll have the modulator, vehicle specific harness, and 2 cable ties. All of that comes with the one kit that you've purchased. Let's grab the key, take off the seat, and we'll get right into it. It'll be necessary to withdraw this connector here. It is the same one as on our harness. It does have a locking feature here. Press that from the left side of the bike and pull it forward. Here on this particular connection, you see a yellow wire being tapped in. That is for the purpose of running our Quadrix D brake function. Yours may or may not have that, so just be aware. This connector gets snapped into the harness, the sub harness we've provided, and then same as OEM goes into the taillight. Make sure you get full engagement there. And then you can distribute that wire bulk so that you don't have too much stuff happening in the trunk space, and you could still get your registration papers in there and very small amount of any other stuff you may carry around. Now our modulator will get snapped into this connector here. And before I go any further, I like to do a test. Also, if you want to make the decisions and adjustments ahead of placing this on the frame, that'll be the best course of action so that you don't have to cut through the wire ties afterwards. I invite you to watch the third portion of this video where we go over all of the adjustments inside. Let's power up the bike. Okay, it's functioning as intended. So I will now proceed to cable management and tying this off to the frame. Cable management I pretty much did already. Now there's many ways to get this tied off to the frame, I think. I do like the idea of having it right here. This makes it easy for me. And I also have a hole here for the wire tie. You could also put it up here, many different places. So choice is really up to you. And grab one of these wire ties and go across from this round hole towards inboard. I have a trick for curling these guys a little bit, so my life is easier that way. Just gonna engage it slightly. And if you noticed on the body of your brake light modulator, there is a channel built in for the purpose of using wire ties. So that channel will align with my wire tie here, and I will cinch this off to the frame. Make it tight enough so that it's not sloppy and doesn't bang around everywhere. And then cut off the excess, and then replace the seat, and we will be done. This segment will be an appendix for those of you guys who have auxiliary brake light equipment in parallel with the actual brake light from the bike. Like I mentioned, on this bike we do have a separate feed going to our Quadrix D signals, triggering the brake response from those lamps when the bike goes into brake mode. At the moment, we have wired in all of the equipment here the way we typically do, without considering any additional equipment like this. And what that caused is the tap to the auxiliary equipment is upstream of the actual brake light modulator, and it cannot take effect from the brake light modulator. So what we need to do for these types of installations is move where this is tapped in from upstream to downstream of the modulator. So I'm going to remove this plug from the taillight. I basically want to mimic how this was before we put all this equipment in line. This was just before the connector to the taillight. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to move it from here. We use posi-tap connectors for our equipment. If you have our equipment, you've already seen a video of how to use these, so I will skip that commentary. Give this a test. All right. Now all of the brake light components, OEM and outboard aftermarket, are working properly. Now I would just use the same procedure I used in the previous segment for cable management and also to affix the brake light modulator body onto this bracket here. For mode selection and rate adjustment, we will need to get inside this capsule to access the electronics. These two Phillips head screws will need to be removed. What I like to do is unscrew them until they disengage from their receiving threads and leave them in the cap. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to lose them. If we pull them off with the cap, they are self-captive. All right, now we'll identify the parts here. This button is the mode selector, and this potentiometer is your rate adjuster. Clockwise is faster, counterclockwise is slower. Let's first do our selection of modes. With the brake pressed, press the button once to toggle to the next available program. Now the brake does have to be pressed so that the unit powers up, otherwise you won't be able to make the selection. If you find that you've pressed the button but the selection has not been changed, just do it again with the brake pressed. So now we will go on to the next program, press the brake once more, Press the button once, and now you're in the next mode. Now we've switched twice, so pressing it one more time will return to the original mode that your unit arrived in. Now for rate adjustment, we'll be using the potentiometer. With the brake pressed, we can turn it clockwise to make it go faster, counterclockwise to decrease the rate. Now in brake alert, you will only have 9 flashes to make your adjustment, and then it'll stay solid. This one doesn't actually lend itself to really fast flashing at the top of the range. Bottom of the range is unusable, so I like to set it somewhere towards 3/4 to maybe 80% clockwise, and that does it for me. Now if we change to the next one, this one is the pulsar, and this one just keeps on flashing, so I like to have it going pretty fast here. Choice is really up to you. If you want to explore the next mode, we have the intermittent pulsar. This one to me belongs somewhere close to the top of the range, makes it the most visible. But again, freedom means choice. The decision is ultimately up to you. Once you're done with your adjustment and you're where you want to be with all your modes and rates, replace the cap, turn the screws back in, and it really is just that simple. Replace your brake light modulator in the space that you decided to keep it, and you're good to go.